Today on Pro Church Daily, we're talking about the secret of leading with vulnerability and why it's so important.
Well, hey there, and welcome to Pro Church Daily, the show where in 10 minutes or less, you'll get your daily dose of tips and tactics to help your church share the message of Jesus while we navigate the biggest communication shift we've seen in the last 500 years. I'm your host, Alex Mills. I'm joined, as always, by the boss man. It's Brady, Shearer. And today, we're talking about the secret of leading with vulnerability and why it's so important.
There's an interesting thing about the human psyche and human culture, it seems, Alex, that we need someone to go first, and then it's so much easier to follow.
Yeah.
This is true in one endeavor, like with athletics, for instance. In 1954, Roger Bannister became the first man to break the 4-minute mile barrier. And it was something that for years, for decades, runners have been trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And finally, this guy had done it, Roger Bannister, 54. 2 months later, it was done again.
Yeah.
Suddenly, once that barrier had been broken, this one that was like, see, no one could ever do this. It is impossible. Right. No one's ever going to do it. Someone did it. 2 months later, someone else did it.
Yeah.
It's like once we knew it was possible, it's like we understood that, oh, this is possible. Yeah. We're seeing the same thing right now with the 2-hour marathon. And depending on when you're watching this, maybe it's already broken. But if someone is going to break the 2-hour marathon. We keep getting so close. When I say we, okay,
yeah, definitely not us.
Humans are getting so close. Humans that are not me.
Yeah.
And the second it's broken, I guarantee within that year that follows, others are going to break it as well. And this is the idea that works with athletics, works with pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. Someone needs to go first, and then others can follow. In leadership, we talk in the church about authenticity. We talk about transparency.
Yeah.
We talk about being real. And then I see so many pastors unwilling to talk about the real junk in their lives.
Yeah.
The real stuff that they know they're not doing well with. And what happens is, if the leader isn't willing to be vulnerable, to talk about their own failures, along with what they're doing well, to talk about what really makes them crummy and why they need Jesus, no one else is willing to open up either.
Yeah.
And so I want to take a page out of that book and lead with vulnerability myself. I was watching this video the other day of a fitness guy that I follow, and he spent an entire video talking about all the things that he's screwed up with in fitness, and it was like the best video of him that I'd ever seen, because it made me feel like, man, if he screwed up all that, it's okay when I screw up because I can get there too.
Yeah.
And I don't want to assume that people watch these videos and think of us higher than they should. But if anyone puts me on a pedestal for whatever reason, Alex can tell you. Stop it. Just stop it. And so I want to talk about some of my own failings that just have happened in 2018 to just pull back the curtain and hopefully to kind of lead with vulnerability here to demonstrate. And I've seen this again and again in my own leadership outside of here, like in a small group. Like we're all giving pat answers like, well, you know what? The thing with Christian culture is we just need to be real. And everyone's like, yeah.
Oh,
and then I go, yeah, it's like I ate 7,000 calories last night, binged, and then wanted to cry. And then everyone's like, oh. And then someone else shares. And then someone else shares. And then someone else shares.
It's like you break the dam.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it all just comes pouring out. Mm-hmm. So, 2 examples from 2018. I gained about 10 pounds leading up to the Nucleus launch. And this has been very, very upsetting for me because fitness is very important to me. I had worked so hard to get down to a certain weight, and I did it all over the winter time. Mm-hmm. And you do that so that when you can get to the summertime, you can feel good about yourself when you go out to the beach. Yeah. And then the Nucleus launch building up. The launch week and post-launch have been very smooth, but the build up to the launch was so incredibly stressful. And I was not managing it well. I was not, doing my meditation and finding healthy ways, like maybe reading a book or taking my dog for a walk or having a nice long bath, listening to soothing music. Instead, I would go to the local bulk candy store, load up on quite literally 10,000 calories of candies, chocolates, and hickory sticks, and then go home and eat all of it somehow, improbably, impossibly. Psych, I did it every single day.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
And then the next day I'd be like, I'm a terrible person, I'm the worst. And I think it's easy to talk about your failings after the fact.
Oh, of course.
I have not lost that weight. You can go back to Pro Church Daily like 2 months ago, take a screenshot, and put it next to the screenshot.
Stop it.
Jonas, don't do this.
Stop it.
And you can see the difference in my face, which is a little leaner and a little chubbier. And this is not that big of a deal, but it's something that I really care about, and it really upsets me that this happened. Another example of this is the post-launch crash. This happens every single launch that we do. And I don't ever talk about this, right? We talk about the Nucleus launch increased gross revenue 122%
it went so well.
in 1 week.
Yeah.
And then Brady literally can't leave his house or like get his butt off the ground for 2 to 3 weeks afterwards because launches take so much out of me that the recovery process afterwards is just so difficult. We don't talk about that post-launch crash. We don't talk about, I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. I'm barely getting out of bed. We don't talk about like me just walking like a zombie through life where my wife and daughter are like, hey, pay attention to us, focus. And I'm like, I have no energy. Like I'm mentally drained. It's like you are burnt out for a week or two, and then you bounce back. And I feel like I'm just coming out of that now. But you know, even a couple of days ago, I didn't feel that way. And so Alex is perfect. I am not. And I just want everyone to know that it's okay to talk about the things that you're bad at.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you look like a lesser person. And if the whole idea of leadership is that follow me as I follow Jesus, it's as I follow Jesus. I am not the hero of this story. Jesus is the hero. And you, the pastor, or the lead pastor at your church, they're not the hero. Jesus is the hero. And if we never talk about the things that we suck at, if we never talk about our failings in a real way, not in a sugar-coated way, sugar-coated, that sounds good. If we don't talk about that, we actually rob Jesus of his heroism.
Yeah.
We don't need him to be the hero because I am the hero.
You're right. I just, if I may, I want to speak to two examples of this in my own life, my own ministry and leadership, because this is something, and we're young, and so we're trying to figure this out, right? Trying to learn how to be young leaders and lead teams. You lead a team here, and I lead a couple teams at church, and it's like it can be a mess most of the time, and just trying to figure out how to lead people well. And so this is a journey that we're on. And so I lead worship at our church, as well as being our associate pastor, but our worship team, we had some goals where we wanted to see some different levels of engagement. And so, for example, you know, maybe you're a worship leader and listening to this and you want to see some more engagement during worship. You want to see more people raising their hands. And so I sat my team down and I said, we were chatting. I'm like, how can we, create this partnership between us and the congregation and kind of break down these walls and see them engage the way that we want to engage? Well, it had to start with us. And if we want to see people raise their hands, we had to start raising our hands first. And so it goes back to how you open this episode. You know, when you see somebody else do something first, you have the courage. And in our case at church, we found that like people have the permission to go there as well in worship. And then as well, like in leading in a pastoral ministry, I've seen it so many times that when I have the courage and the humility to talk about things from the pulpit that normally pastors don't really talk about, like whether it's, you know, if I choose to share an example from my own life, instead of just cherry picking through the wins, you know, this is how my wife and I won the situation, this is how you can do it too. You know, I choose to talk about the failures too, and like this is how we blew it in this situation, and now we've grown through it and are learning how to win through that situation. And I remember one sermon, we were talking about a series called Soul Food and things that your soul needs. And when it was my turn to preach, I just really felt led to talk about pain and to be honest about pain. And I didn't know why, and I didn't like it. It was super uncomfortable for me. I wanted to have an encouraging sermon about how your soul needs this good thing and this good thing. But I got up there and found myself talking about how our souls feel things and how we feel pain, and pain is a big part of life, and it's often really sucks. And maybe you're in the midst of it right now, maybe I'm in the midst of it right now, and kind of opening up that door and sharing about my own personal pain. Well, it's after those kinds of opportunities and those kinds of messages when you kind of, you know, pull back the curtain and say, yeah, everything's not fine here. It's the response to those where people say, hey, thank you so much for being honest and talking about this. And then now they're talking to me about what they're going through. And there's this deeper level of intimacy and relationship and back and forth when we're all honest enough with each other to admit that, yeah, we're all just trying to figure this out and none of us are perfect. And there's as much learning in the valleys as there are on the mountaintops. And it's all just a mess, but it's life and it's good. And so leading with vulnerability is hard, and it's not easy, and it's definitely not glamorous. But if we're in church leadership or leadership in a team structure like at work or whatever, it's got to be the most essential aspect of a good leader, one who's willing to be vulnerable enough to say, look, I don't quite have it today, or we're doing really well today, or this is going on, but just being honest and bare before the people you're leading so that they can be honest with you and you guys can move towards a goal together.
Alex hit on it right there. It's like, this isn't enjoyable and this isn't easy, and that's why people don't do it. And that's why we stay at this status quo where everything's going on, but we're all putting on these faces and we're kind of like giving the best version of Brady to the world. And then when someone finally is like, yeah, I'm not perfect and this is not great and this is what's happening here, you're like, well, actually, if I'm being honest,
yeah.
And then all of this amazing things come out of it. But it takes that one person. You are the leader, so that burden falls on you. Otherwise, you're not a leader because you're just doing what everyone else is. A leader is someone that's going ahead, someone that's doing things differently so that others can then do those things differently.
Yeah.
Someone needs to lead. Someone needs to go first. You're going to want to give disclaimers. You're going to want to make sure that you can mitigate all the backlash that you think you might get, but you're not actually going to. You're going to want to protect yourself, self-preservation, fight all those tendencies, lead with vulnerability, give others the permission to enter into life change and real community. It's going to be difficult for you, but that's what being a leader is all about. That'll do it for today's episode of Pro Church Daily. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, thanks for watching today's episode of Pro Church Daily. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another one.
And if you like this video, it would mean the world to us if you give it a thumbs up.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.